There are two kinds of addiction. There is a habitual addiction, something because you're in this particular environment you're doing. Or there's a chemical addiction. So nicotine, for example, is a chemical addiction. You used to smoke at one point of time because it was your only way of processing emotions, for example. Could be. It was a way of feeling like, you have a little bit of rebelliousness inside you and you're not listening to what society is telling you.
Addiction. Okay. Any addiction. Okay. One, let's take smoking for example, right? I was a smoker. At 41 fine morning, I gave up. Okay. I just gave up. I'm not touched cigarette after that. Correct. Something happened and I took a decision. I changed. So that. But if somebody wants to let go of smoking, it's a habit, right? How would you say? How would the person has to look?
No, lovely.
To break any addiction.
Lovely. So first, let's understand what an addiction is. And this was a definition that I loved. This is not mine. I've heard it somewhere. I can't remember where, but it goes like this. Addiction is when something gave you pleasure at one point of time. And the more you do it, the pleasure reduces to a point of zero and it goes down to negative numbers. So the more you're doing it, it is giving you not just pleasure, but it's giving you pain. But you can't stop. So that when it goes beyond zero to the negatives is when I call it an addiction. Or when it starts affecting your family members. Till then it's not an addiction. Okay?
It could be anything.
It could be anything. Mangoes. One mango super pleasurable. 100 mangoes, stomach upset.
Correct.
Pleasure has turned into pain. So don't have 100 mangoes. But you can't stop. You just keep eating it. So what we do is once we realize that we're on this addiction spectrum, we understand what is it that it was trying to originally help us for. Our addictions, our bad habits are often crutches for something. And when I tell people that, you have to rip it out, it's like taking a lame person's crutch. The person's going to be not in a good place. They won't be able to walk. So instead what we do is we start making their legs stronger. You used to smoke at one point of time because it was your only way of processing emotions, for example. Could be. It was a way of feeling like, you have a little bit of rebelliousness inside you and you're not listening to what society is telling you. Whatever it is, you identify that part of it and solve for that problem, not the smoking.
You identify the story or whatever reason why you picked it up in the first place or why you do it.
Or what's it causing? What's it now?
Yeah. Then you try to replace it. Try to figure out what it
was. Now, there are two kinds of addiction. There is a habitual addiction. So something that is not, something because you're in this particular environment you're doing.
Peer pressure or whatever.
Peer pressure, etc. Or there's a chemical addiction. So nicotine, for example, is a chemical addiction. That means it has a half-life. It has to be out of your system for 2 weeks in order for it to not be holding a grasp on you. So if you can ever give up smoking for 2 weeks and never touch a cigarette again, the nicotine part of the problem is gone. Now it is only the environment problem. That means I know that these 3 friends are going to come and offer me a cigarette. I will not be able to pull it. Don't meet them in a place where you can smoke. Right? So go to a restaurant where there is no smoking. Don't go to that pub where you had to go and with a drink you wanted to smoke.
So you have to consciously set the system and environment in your favor.
Yes.
Or else you might get sucked in again.
Not might, will.
Will get sucked in. Okay, there's no might
meaning, meaning the pressure is so, it's almost muscle memory, right? It's going to happen. You're going to reach for it. I was once talking to somebody about starting a no sugar challenge. And like, I'm with you for a no sugar challenge. You were over coffee. And while he's telling me I'm with you, he has opened his sugar packet and is putting it in his coffee. And I'm like, Kamlesh, you see what you're doing? When did that happen? He didn't know he was doing it. It was muscle memory. So we need to not be in that environment. So for example, if you're doing no sugar, when you sit down at a coffee table, take the sugar box before your coffee comes and give it away. Simple things like that. And that is how you slowly start getting rid of your smoking. Now, you said something important. You said something happened and I gave up smoking. Unfortunately, most of us only give up these things when something happens.
When pain hits you.
Something, pain hits you. Aha moment has happened, realization, something happened to a friend, something happened to me. The best thing we can do is learn from other people's mistakes. Right?
Don't wait for something to hit you.
Yeah, it's so sad. One of the reasons why I started habit coaching was like, I never want you to feel the life that I had. Like learn before any of this happens and learn from other people's mistakes. That's what wisdom is.